Even though all these guys are in the Google Drive and all the logins for everything are there, but none of you are logged into it. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, I
don't even know where to find the logins. So
there's a Google Doc for logins. I don't have any of that.
I was gonna say it's probably buried somewhere.
No, it's in the main Google Drive.
I'll find it one of these days.
It just says logins, and it's just a Google Doc.
Not that I want to be responsible, but I don't think you gave me access to that.
If I didn't,
no, I'm okay with having zero responsibility. For that.
No, you're getting responsibility.
God,
give you damn responsibility. Okay.
Well, I don't want responsibility. No,
I don't want it. Take it back.
I really need to be a little bit more professional. I am technically covering Dr. Goku.
This is true. Matt is our mental health professional this evening.
And I'm not acting like it right now at all.
It's okay. We'll just pull up WebMD and we'll be covered.
I've ever heard. Oh God, no! Don't mention that. Oh.
Where's Dr. Goku? Tell him WebMD just got mentioned. He'll be on in a second.
I was looking to see if anybody was there. And it's like, wait.
That's me.
He might be here.
Let me drop that volume down. There we go.
No, it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah.
All right. We apparently have a sub baby today. I hit my 9-month mark.
Yay!
Oh, yay!
A sub baby, Alex Goku.
I didn't know it was called the sub baby.
I didn't either.
When you hit the 9-month mark?
Oh no!
There's Dr. Williams. I heard that.
I heard that.
It's a chat.
Congrats, Doc.
Yes, congratulations, Doc.
All right. I keep getting distracted.
Us?
When I say that we're casual, we're very casual. You know.
I'm into it.
Awesome.
Very, very fast, very loose. Well, actually, very slow, very loose.
It's like that part from Space Jam where Wayne Knight's like, I may be slow, but I'm fat, or whatever he says to Michael Jordan.
They actually have a full-blown sequel coming out to that.
Yeah. I can't wait with LeBron James.
Right.
Yep.
That's been confirmed. It's definitely LeBron James.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Really? I was kind of hoping like Charles Barkley would carry it. You know what I mean? Get one of the basketball players from the first. No.
You're showing your age, man. You're showing your age.
That was when the Phoenix Suns were the bomb.
Hey.
And then the Magics came into it with Shaq and Blue Chips and all that. No?
Yeah, it was rumored to be Shaq a while back when he was big and popular.
He's still big and popular. I saw a video of him.
Big at Shaq.
I saw a video of him last year at like a concert, like front row, like just moshing it out, and it was awesome.
It's amazing.
A pseudoscience clinic where we did pulsed electromagnetic therapy, and he was one of our clients. And that dude is absolutely massive.
Yeah, he's big.
It's absurd. You stand next to him and you go, holy crap.
We are alive, right?
We are.
Oh, we're live.
Okay.
I am hearing myself. I'm still looking for the go live tweet so I can.
It's there.
Okay.
I tagged everyone. Okay.
Just
We're already
retweeted it.
recording. Okay. Now let's get down to brass tacks.
All right. We gonna do a 3, 2, 1 marker.
Sure.
Do it.
3, 2, 1, and All right. Hello, and thank you for joining us once again for the Guardians MH podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nate, and with me tonight is Alan,
Hi.
Matt,
Hey, hey.
and our fearless leader, Joe.
Hello.
If you are joining us for the first time, Guardians MH is a 501c3 nonprofit focused on promoting mental health awareness throughout the gaming community, and with being a first step assisting individuals with gathering meaningful resources in a safe and inclusive atmosphere. Our podcast is another way to normalize talking about mental health and is a fusion of mental health topics and gaming. The information presented in this podcast is of a general nature and is intended for educational and entertainment purposes. Well, many of the people here have some sort of mental health training. They are not your mental health professional. This podcast is not a replacement for mental health or physical care or for the diagnosis of any mental health illness or condition. Please welcome our guest tonight, IRL Guardian.
Hi.
Hey, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. I'm super excited about this.
We are too, man. We are such
Yeah.
big fans of yours. And, dude, I love every video that you put out. They're so entertaining. And I love the finishers that you're doing now. But is it okay if we call you James? Because it's a little
Yeah, I go by-
long in the tongue to go IRL Guardian every time we
I know.
want
I'm
to chat.
sorry. I'm
you're
sorry.
good,
Or you
man.
can call it, or it's like Earl for short. But no, James is fine.
Cool. Very cool. No, yeah. Again, thank you so much for coming on with us. Really looking forward to our conversation tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Before we get started, there is one thing that I want to announce to everybody. Dr. Goku, Dr. Williams, is not with us tonight. Earlier this week, he and his wife welcomed their new baby boy into the world. So he is with his family, taking care of that newborn baby. So congratulations from all of us, and we miss you, and we'll see you soon. He has a hard time of staying away, so he's actually like trolling in the chat right now. Like I told you guys before, it's easier for him to slide the phone in the couch than shut down a computer. So he's not going to get yelled at for chilling out with us. But anyways, congratulations, man. And going forward, James, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and maybe anybody that might not know who you are, kind of give them a little bit of background.
Sure. So my name is James, but I go by IRL Guardian. And a little under 2 years ago, I decided to start recreating the animations that we all see and play in Destiny 2, but in real life. And since then, I've been posting videos of either supers and, as of late, finishers from Destiny 2, the game we all love to play. And that's me.
Yeah, right on, man. I think I can say that literally every single person here plays Destiny 2, and all of us come from the Destiny community. So it's one of the wonderful things that this community, yet again, just brings so many creatives out. And a lot of the times you see a lot of content creators and creatives in the sense of like digital or art and this and that, but you're a physical creative where your videos are so unique versus everybody else's because you are a stuntman. And
Yes.
you reenact a lot of these moves and everything that are displayed in the video game that are like high acrobatic and just epic slams and everything, and moves from these guardians in different classes and weapons and everything. But you do animations on top of it to really just bring it home. Like, they are so cool to watch. What got you into really doing that? And then when did you start adapting like the kind of like the Photoshop like animations into it?
So let's take a even further step back, I guess, because I, like you said, I am a stunt performer. So having that background, before I even was a stunt performer, I went to film school. So I have that knowledge of like editing and shooting and whatnot. So, and since I've been born, I've been a fan of video games and of anything that Bungie makes. And Nate will know this, that early starting on, I didn't have effects over it. And the very first thing was like Arc Strider, like popping Arc Strider, like that activation with the pull spin.
Yeah.
Was the first thing I ever did. I was like just training with some friends, and I picked up a bow staff, and I wasn't familiar with it. And I was just messing around with it, like doing like a hand spin. I was like, oh, this like reminds me of like an Arc Strider in Destiny 2. And then I just did it. I like took my phone out, recorded it, and I just put it on the internet. And this was before my handle was, you know, appropriate for the things I was doing. And it was just a really great response to me sharing that. And I was like, oh, okay, like now I'm motivated to like take it a step further and do more from that subclass, and even just in Destiny 2 in general. So being a film major and knowing some knowledge of like editing and whatnot, I actually wasn't too versed in like, you know, things like After Effects or adding effects. Like I could add like a muzzle flash or like a blood spurt for, you know, simple little stuff. But doing the things I do, I kind of had to learn along the way. And I just knew I wanted to up it from the get. I just wanted it to make an experience, like you said, like you said before. It was like to have it be so entertaining to everyone is my goal. It's like that's all I want. It's like just to send like little like movie clips out there for people to entertain, like, you know, pop a bag of popcorn, obviously not for 8 seconds of video, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, and every video that comes out, I just try to up it and add effects that really like embellish it, make us feel that same feeling like from when we do it in the game.
Yeah, like one of those, like, I remember the first time you came across my feed, and it was you were just twirling a stick, and I really don't know where it came from. I don't know what tagged me or where it came from, but I was like, holy crap! Like,
It's legit.
Yeah, like I've got some background in martial arts myself, so like watching someone do this, I was like, wow, and it. Something I'm used to seeing in the game, and that, I mean, again, this was back when you were, you know, Noomi dude, right?
Yeah. Shh, don't say that too loud.
Dude, if you want to see me hurt myself real bad, just ask me to try and do a spin in the air. It ain't gonna. You'll end up entertained, but it's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah, I've done some bow staff and half staff training, and let me tell you, I've got some knots on my head from where I've messed up.
I will confess that I didn't use a real bow staff for all of the Arc Strider. It was like a cut PVC pipe, so it was like super light, but still like.
No, that's understandable. I mean,
I had like forearm cramps for days because I was training it so hard.
So did you have any, because you were in theater and everything, did you have any formal stage combat training, or was this just all?
No, yeah, so most of my work is for TV and film, because I live in New York, so there's a lot of productions that go on. And my background is, I never took stage combat, but I did Japanese jiu-jitsu for probably like 12, 13 years, and sadly had to move away. I had to move toward the city and away from my dojo, because I was like at the point where I was like teaching and running class and like, you know, kind of running it. And then once I really started to dive feet first into my career, I kind of broadened my training. Because Japanese jiu-jitsu is like,
is much different than Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Much different than Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's basically, the easiest way to say it, it's basically what samurai would do if they were off their horse and without a sword and they met someone on the field. They would have to end them with their hands in the most scientific and efficient way possible.
I like how you worded that.
That was good. That was very safe for work right there.
Yeah, so in Aikido, which a lot of people are familiar with, and Judo, actually um, kind of came off of traditional jujitsu because traditional jujitsu is pretty violent. It's not you have to definitely take steps out to make it safe for two people to train it. Um, and so at a time it was just so violent they kind of banned it anywhere outside of Japan. And I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm wrong with most of this, but so Aikido was like kind of born from jujitsu because it was very flowy and soft and non-striking. And judo was also spawned from that because it could be passed as a sport, and now is an Olympic sport. Um, and then later, when martial arts really took a spike in like the 70s and 80s, it kind of came back around. Like people kind of modernized it. Um, and yeah, so sorry. Yeah, I brought in my kind of my training. Went into like weapons and like kung fu and Muay Thai and like TKD and just anything and everything.
How many times have you gotten hurt? I know, stupid question.
I need wood. Not a lot.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
there you go. He stretches.
Not a lot. Yeah, I stretch. I mean, sprains
Yeah,
here and there and bumps and bruises are bound to happen, but serious injuries like break a leg or anything.
Yeah.
No.
See, I was
So-
more focused with the previous question with him filming in New York. I'm like, wait, they do other stuff besides Law and Order in New York?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm kidding.
Very much so.
I can rattle off a list for you for
No,
sure.
I'm kidding. I'm just picking. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Matt.
No worries.
What's your like if you were talking to someone who wanted to get into this line of work, what are your tips, or what's your strategy for staying as safe as you have?
I would definitely recommend. I would, especially for stunt work, I would recommend a background in. And this isn't trying to be biased at all, but in Japanese jiu-jitsu and or judo, because a lot of it is falling and hitting the ground on on probably mats that are going to be way thinner than what you're going to do on the job, and or probably none at all. Like you might have to hit the pavement. But it just gets you, falling and hitting the ground gets rid of so much fear that we have. Like a lot of us, do everything we can not to hit the ground. Like, when you like stumble and trip, like your body just like spreads out and like tries to grab on anything, so I would definitely say like a background in some sort of martial art. And it's a funny profession to try to get into, because you also have to get into the Screen Actors Guild, which is there's not one way you can really get into it, and it's quite hard to explain. But you do somehow have to get into the union, and then have a background in, I would say, martial arts, or just hitting the ground and like taking hits, so to speak. And then you'd probably be good off.
You got someone that lives in LA. I understand that grind. So I mean, it's kind of a chicken and egg here. Did you study martial arts first, and that's what got you into stunt work, or did your stunt work push you towards getting some martial arts training?
Kind of both. So I had the training for a while, and then because I went to film school, I was always bound and looking to work in the industry. And so I did work as like a PA. So I have like humble beginnings where I was like the gopher and the grunt on the ground, like doing the hard pushing work on like a film set. And I was lucky enough to work on the Ninja Turtles reboot with Megan Fox. Not saying it's a fantastic movie, but it's,
Hey, man, I thought it was awesome.
being a part of a big production like that is really exciting. And then seeing all those stunt guys who are so talented do martial arts, it like just clicked for me. I was like, oh wait, I have X amount of years of experience, and I'm also like in like already working in the industry. So like all it took me was to like talk to them and be like, hey, how can I do this? Like I had this experience and I had some guidance there.
So
And yeah,
That's awesome.
Ninja Turtles your break?
I didn't work on Ninja Turtles. It was the one that like started setting in motion. One of the first jobs was a TV show called Person of Interest.
Oh
If
yeah,
any of you are familiar with that.
Heard of it.
absolutely.
Yeah, so that filmed in New York, and that was like one of my first jobs as a stunt performer.
They filmed that by NYU, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all over the city, really. The
Yeah.
stages were based in Queens, but yeah.
Very nice.
Look at
So
that.
you kind of had a thing for, you wanted to throw your body around, and you had some filmmaking background, and you said, hey, let me put these two into a career. Or
I had the gusto to be like, yeah, let's do this.
nice.
Yeah.
Yep, and now you're bringing forth one of your favorite gaming franchises moves into it too for a hobby on top of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's such a huge passion, like gaming, and even the work behind it. Like everyone at Bungie, that what they add to what we love, like just I appreciate it so much. So anytime I post a video, it's really just like, hey, here's like page 20 of my love letter to Destiny 2.
Yeah. What day is the petition on now? It's still going? There's a petition.
I think she actually stopped. We played some Gambit together for the first time. That was really cool.
It was, dude, that had me
It was like
cracking up.
60 something.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Oh
there
my
was
god.
a petition going on social media for him to be interviewed by Bungie for it wasn't the TWA, but it was a spotlight
Like,
on you.
Yeah, like the community focus.
Oh,
It was wild. Like she started at day 1, and about like day 10, I was like, you kind of get weary, like because I didn't really know her, and I was weary because I was like, okay, like maybe it'll fall off, but made it to like day 60 or like 66, kid you not, and like the higher the number came, I was just so taken back every time she made that post, and I just had to, like, no matter what, like retweet it, comment, like gush over it, because like she didn't have to do that at all.
See me, senpai. See me.
Yeah. Notice me.
I've seen the posts, and it's like I not even just be community focused. I would love to see you actually do some of that mocap work, because I mean you've got talent and skill, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
that's the end game for me. The day that IRL Guardian says Bungie and mocap, I will be like, yes, my boy made it, right?
Yeah, that is honestly the dream.
Yeah.
I would love the opportunity, of course. Sometimes I don't. Obviously, I'm not gonna self-promote it out there like that, because I guess I'm a bit too humble for my own good. But anytime anyone brings it up, I'm like, F yeah, like let's do it.
I'm in.
But what's funny about that, like, yeah, I'm sure maybe one day it'll happen, but I'll probably sign an NDA so no one will ever know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
It'll
be
be
able
the
to tell
post
until
expansion when
way
we
after it
talking about
comes
the
out.
previous. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what it just reminded me with the mocap? It's like, well, man, he's got to get his dancing skills down, because now we're going to be seeing some videos of him busting out some moves and everything to try and reproduce some of those emotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
How
that's awesome.
dancing?
Say again. Sorry.
How are you at dancing?
I find myself a decent martial artist, but a terrible dancer.
Yeah, those tend to coincide.
Yeah. You would think I'd be good, but there's
Something about being fixed form that you just can't,
something about rhythm. Just
Imagine how I feel. I did 10 years of Taekwondo. You don't get much more rigid than that. 'Cause. 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 'C
No, I mean that kind of leads into our mental health topic for the day.
Hmm.
You know, a lot of us deal with stress and deal with anxiety and deal with what all the stuff, and there's a certain structure behind martial arts and whatnot. Like myself, I've done a few years of Japanese jujitsu. Not
Yes, yes,
Yeah, and it was like everyone's go
yes.
jujitsu, it's BJJ. It's like no, there's a
No.
whole professional side of that you're
Yeah.
missing. And then Muay Thai and Tai Chi.
Yes.
And between those three, it really grounded me and really kind of gave me a sense of of purpose and got me to move forward where I was in a little bit of chaos.
Hmm.
So like, did that do a similar thing with you, or is
Completely agree. And I guess by the time I had started my martial arts journey, I was in my teens, so I didn't I guess I didn't come from chaos. I was like already chaotic without knowing I was chaotic because I was a teenager.
Mm.
Um, but yes, 1,000% yes. It definitely grounds you. It it creates such a different self-awareness of your own body and the space you occupy. And I'm sure, Alan, you can agree with Taekwondo, especially because those are bigger moves and a more extension of your body. Like you kind of walk through a room and a doorway differently after studying and practicing martial arts for years. Um, yeah.
As far as on the mental health side of exercise, you know, exercise, whether it's in the form that you do, James, the very high intensity and impactful style, or just regular waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and going for a jog, exercise in and of itself, it just has a positive effect on mental health. It assists when dealing with anxiety and depression. Um, Obviously, they're not cures, but it's just another really great tool that you can have in your own mental health toolbox. Um, One of the big things that exercise does, especially on a regular and on a scheduled basis, it allows for our brain to actually change a little bit. It opens up neural pathways in our mind that generally can promote an aspect of feeling calm. But also, just starting a regiment of any types, like you said before, keeps you grounded. It keeps you on a schedule. It keeps you regulated, in a sense. And then, last but not least, physically, once you exercise, you get you get endorphins. Endorphins is the key to it all. Endorphins makes you feel good. Endorphin makes you think a little bit clearer. Endorphins give you that energy to do what you need to do. So, actually, I wanted to ask, what is that like for you when you do those high intensity and those stunts? What are some of the feelings that you get, if you don't mind sharing that?
No, of course, especially when it comes to the videos that most of you, and a lot of other people know me by for the IRL Guardian stuff. There's a sense of accomplishment that, obviously the level I'm doing it at is bigger, but even just, making your bed or cleaning, the house or whatnot, or building a chair, like a sense of accomplishment with your own being, whatever that may be, is really what drives me. Like, just being able to perform and accomplish these moves. And a recent video I put out, I did Blade Carnival, which is like the hunter finisher that you start out with. And I taught myself that move, and I had a friend help me, and it was not easy. It was definitely the hardest one I had to do. I hit the ground a bunch, but I just knew the light at the end of the tunnel was so much worth it. Worth all the things I was going through, and And yeah, it was just the fact that I accomplished it. I was like, yes, okay, what's next? Let's go.
Yeah. There's that resiliency to kind of just keep moving forward and to keep doing it. And also you're touching upon there too, just another thing, an aspect of having a higher self-esteem, right? I think once you get into that rhythm, and like you said, once you accomplish something, you feel like you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
You know, somebody like myself, I could never do that right now.
Yeah.
But no, if I honestly,
I'm not saying to agree, but I'm just
no. You can say yes to agree.
understanding. Yeah.
Trust me, you only see me from the neck up. But if I practice, and if I actually did probably make an honest attempt, I could maybe get there, or someplace similar, someplace that I want to be.
Yeah.
Your area where you want to be, being able to finish that move and to finish that stunt, that's where you want to be, and that's where the resilience comes in. And accomplishing that, just gives you a greater sense of self-esteem.
And I'd also like to add to that, because I did that Quarantine Guardians video. I had like over 50 community members come together, and that was so exciting to me, because it was people that I'm sure, spend more time not working out like I do, and playing the game like or doing other non-high level physical activity, but they did go out, get a camera, and record some of these moves, and like that brought me so much joy, because the effort that people made out of their comfort zone, I'm sure, brought them a lot of accomplishment, and like you said, like improvement in mood and endorphins, and especially seeing the final product. Like, I'm sure people filming it were like, oh, I don't know about this, like I look stupid or whatnot, and they would still send it to me. I was like, this looks great, like don't worry, it's going to look awesome. And I was so pleased that everyone really felt that, and felt pride in what they added and contributed, and could share it with other people, like, hey, I'm in this, like, I did that, that's me.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the heart gets racing, that's when all of this kind of comes into play.
Yeah.
Right. That's when the endorphins get built up. That's when we start to actually feel almost that elated feeling, in a sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, good stuff. That's awesome, though. Just I want to take a moment. That's awesome. You got a bunch of community members out and about, doing something different, doing something new, and probably having a hell of a good time. That's really, that kudos to you, man.
That would do that. And that's the thing I always remember. People were saying, "Oh, movie of the week." It's like, it was a unique submission for movie of the week, and I don't even think it made it to the creation spades, to be honest. But like you said, that was the thing that like made it all worth it. Yeah. It was like these people coming out, like just out of their comfort zone, like I said, and trying something.
Oh, there were actually a handful of people in that video that was the first time their community had ever seen their face.
Yes.
Wow.
That's really outside the comfort zone.
Yeah. For sure.
Speaking of outside the comfort zone, when you started doing your stunt work, was there like a big mental block that you had to overcome? Because I know when I was a kid, I used to look at the stunts and go, man, that looks like it'd be so much fun. And then I go to try to do something as simple as like a backflip. And I go, and nope, I'm going to crack my head open. I'm going to break my neck. Nope, I can't do it. And it kills me immediately every single time.
So I think it's just the way we're wired as humans, where like you can be at the base of the Empire State Building, look at the top, be like, it's not that high, and then be at the top of it looking down, be like, holy, it's that high. Like it's like I'm in the clouds. It's like perspective you have on something when you're watching it and versus doing it. So in the sense of the backflip, like I think there's a point us as humans, like if we break it down in a way that makes it less than what we think or perceive it really is. And that's kind of a similar mental journey I had for Blade Carnival. Learning that move, I was like, man, I know what that move is. It's from tricking, like, you know, tricking martial arts. I was like, I've always wanted to learn that move, and I never was able to do it. But like when you break it down, and my friend who's very talented helped me break it down. He's like, listen, it's just, you know, it's just like this move, but like sideways, yada yada yada. I think changing perspective on things helps overcome fear. So I could bringing it back to like a backflip. Like if you think about it differently, you might not be as fearful of trying it. And then obviously being safe, like don't go out in the middle of the street and like chuck it, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say it also helps when you have a good foam pit that you can backflip into.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to try it on like my front lawn and on the pavement outside my school, and I'd be like, yeah, nope, I'm gonna try.
Check this out, guys.
Look what I can do. Nope.
Watch this.
Nope.
I triple dog dare you.
I've seen a lot of bad things happen with those words being spoken first.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Man.
man.
I'm currently bad jumping off the peaks of my roof because, you know, it's triple
Just
dog. Yeah.
Full on Mary Poppins that right off the side. Let's do this.
Mary Poppins,
the-
y'all.
Yeah,
Mary
get the
Poppins.
Get the golfing, umbrella. That one's the biggest. That'll do it.
But Alan brings up actually a nice point. What do you do personally? Like when you have that block, when you're frustrated and you can't, I'm sure it's happened. I don't want to assume, but I'm sure it's happened where you're having a difficult time learning a stunt or something's just not clicking. How do you kind of handle that? How do you handle that frustration?
So, in martial arts has helped me with this. It's for me just breaking it down and then just trying to see it from a different perspective.
Okay.
And we can all get like blind and dumb when it's, we're huffing and puffing. And it's also some days like this doesn't pertain to, I guess, like being on set for my work, but some days like, as far as like training and practicing, some days it doesn't happen. Some days it's, the climb to accomplishing something isn't like a perfect slope, like you're going to reach a high and then the next day or whenever you return to it won't be as good as the day before, but every step counts. And for me personally, I think I just take a step back. I accept the work I put in, and I just know that I'm still making steps of progress, like towards something. So even if, maybe I, quit, I know I'm going to return to it. So did that answer your question?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's that aspect of not giving up almost,
Yeah.
and in a sense too, it's being able to accept like, okay, it's not happening today, but that doesn't mean I stop here.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
don't move forward with it. I still learned
Yeah.
something, even if it was, and I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. Even if it's just footing, or even it's just where you have to land, even if you're able to learn that, I could imagine like, okay, I can still take that and move on to the next day.
Yeah.
Good.
Exactly.
No, absolutely. That answers the question fully.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the video you posted today, and I commented on, I put a give comment on it, but someone says, how do you train for that kind of explosiveness for that jump?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Very, yeah. Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah. Just do a lot of jumps.
Right? And it's just keep it until you
just
and higher. Yeah.
just do a lot of
Yeah.
jumps.
Just
Just
jump.
do a lot of jumps. Yeah.
Put on crisscross. Just get going. You know,
Yeah.
get into it.
And it's so
I just hit a nerve.
not to not to deflate the joke, but like there's proper vert training as far as like jumps for like NBA players and like basketball, whether it's sport that you need like to up your vert, but there's like proper training that you can seek out for that. I haven't tried it personally, but I've heard like cool stories about it.
Some of the
Stairs are pretty good for that.
What was that?
What, say again?
Stairs.
I was just thinking that.
Jump
Back
up
in the
one
day.
stair and then two and then three and then
Yeah.
Well,
usually
they had,
you use like the boxes, but if you don't have those, you can do it on stairs.
For sure.
When I used to play lacrosse in college, for strength exercises and everything, and one of them was a jumping one. We did use stairs, and we would jump and then jump up to one stair, back down, jump up to two stairs, back down, try and jump up to three stairs, back down, and you would try and get higher and higher each time. But then you would start working your way, kind of like almost like dominoing up and down the stairs. Holy crow, man, would your legs freaking burn after doing any of that?
Oh yeah. My friend does. He just calls it stairs. It's this park in Flushing, New York, and it's like 3 levels of stairs. He'll do frog jumps up. He'll do skips up. He'll do left leg hops up. He'll do right leg hop up. He'll do like lateral lunges up.
I'm having a heart
It's
attack
tough.
right now thinking about
It's
it.
tough. Yeah. I'm having nightmares remembering.
Yeah, right. Oh, you've done these stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, they're infamous now. All right,
I
so
mean,
if I ever come to visit you and you're like, "Hey, we're going down to Flushing," I'm gonna go, "No,
Yeah.
we are not."
It's about the same size of like that famous Joker staircase.
I knew you.
Oh,
were gonna bring
okay.
it up.
It's like one of those.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't even want to walk up to the top of it. Like,
Yeah.
no. Like I know I can visualize the stairs you're talking about, and it's like 3 stories, and it's like straight. Like we have a hiking trail up here, outside of Ithaca. It's called Buttermilk Falls. It's
Okay.
all in the
Yeah, I've heard of
gorges
it.
and everything. Gorgeous.
Sounds
gorgeous.
delicious.
It right? It does, doesn't it? Right by Tunkhannock. Tunkhannock's a really nice one, just because of like you can see the Arcadian Sea, like floor bed and everything still. But Buttermilk Falls, love it, hate it at the same sense, because it's a 3/4 of a mile of just stairs going up the side of this gorge. And it's enough to make you never want to see stairs for the next week and a half. And oh my God, I get anxiety thinking about these stairs. So anything that's like a massive amount of stairs, nope, I'm out. It ruins
So
me.
another story about stairs. I went to Japan with my sister.
Oh, that's
like
awesome. That's a great
a
trip.
year or so ago, and this island off of Hiroshima. You take a boat over, and then there's a bunch of hikes on the island, and it's where that famous Torii Gate like sits in the water, and we took this cable car up to the top of the mountain, or I don't even know if you could call it a mountain. So then we hiked down to the shore level, and there's just endless amount of stairs that are winding. But as we're going down, it's like, it's one thing to go downstairs, but we were passing so many people going up them, and it's probably like 1,500 elevation.
Man.
Why?
No.
Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah. I'll stay in the cable car. Thank you.
That's
Like
awesome.
the people that hike the Adirondack Trail, like the whole trail.
Oh
It
yeah.
goes from like,
That's
it goes from
long.
like
Yeah, that's
Virginia,
long.
and it goes all the way up, and it dumps out in New Hampshire where I live.
Oh,
And,
it goes way farther. The Appalachian Trail.
yeah.
You're talking about that thing, like it starts like almost Georgia. It goes
Does
through the
it?
Blue Ridge,
Oh my god.
and then it goes all the way up to Maine. Yeah,
Those
my
people
my
are nuts.
cousin did it, and it took him a few months to get all the way up it. And people change doing that.
yeah. Up
I
where I
think-
live, you'll see them coming out, and they'll be thumbing for rides back to the airport so they can go home.
That's just too much training for me. Like I look at the I'm being chased by the bear theory. I don't have to run faster than the bear. I just have to run faster.
Faster than you.
All right.
Better not run faster than me. I'll trip you. Yeah. Telling you right now.
I'm not going camping with you guys.
No, dude. I remember. Side tangent. We're really good at this.
We are.
I was a guest climbing instructor for Cornell University for their outdoor education
no way.
program. Yep, and I used to go climbing down in New Paltz in the Gunks all the time.
Yep, I know where that is.
So, y'all, dude, love it. And this was before they started opening the Lighthouse trail back up, so you can go climb that. But doing the Gunks, dude, I remember one time a friend of mine, Paul, was a guide for EMS. And I was meeting him the next day, and he invited me to sleep at his apartment. I said, no, man, I'm going to sleep at one of the campgrounds. I brought a tent. I'm really excited for it. I slept there, and it was probably about eighth of a mile away from the climb, or away from the trailhead and everything. And I'm just in this nice little camp spot. I was wicked excited. Went into town, got some food and stuff, and came back, made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff for the next day. Well, 2 o'clock in the morning, a black bear came through, and he came running around the tent, and I had food in the tent. I was scared to death, and I'm like, no. Rule number 1, and I forgot, and I opened the slide a little bit and just kind of threw it out by the fire. Which was burned out, and I sat there, and it just started running, and went right through and grabbed. It didn't grab the peanut butter or anything, but just smelled around, and as soon as I heard it get far enough away, I packed up my shit, which was grab like my shoes and like climbing stuff, and went right back to my Jeep, and I slept in my Jeep in the parking lot of the EMS guide station. And he met me the next morning. He goes, dude, I went down to the campsite. Your stuff is all down there. I'm like, yeah, no, man, a bear was down there. I'm sleeping in your parking lot.
No,
and I'm going to be in your apartment tonight and tomorrow. And for the next 3 days, I stayed on his couch, dude. And I made him go down there and help me get my camping stuff. After we went climbing, we jugged 2 climbs, and dude, it was such great climbs. And the next day I almost stepped on a copperhead. It was a great time.
Fun times.
Exciting.
It was a good time. It was, because, dude, it's kind of wild. If you ever go to the Gunks, you'll see people with like snake sticks. Well, if you see a ranger, tell them, because there's a lot of people that try and like steal snakes off the trails. There's a lot of copperheads up there, but usually you don't see the copperheads on like the base of the climbs or the base of the rock. They're like way up on the backside. And I was checking out this crack for doing a climb, and he just like, dude, don't move. So what? He goes,
So what you're saying is people on that trail are reversed to Animal Crossings?
you son of a bitch.
Oh God. That hurt my brain.
There are 2 things there. 1, you made Joe curse, which is even better. And 2, just to explain this, James.
You guys have like secret words before the show,
right? This is Animal Crossing has been a theme of this podcast for a while now, and it's now become Nate's mission in life to sneak it in anywhere that he possibly could. And this is better. This was better than last time. I have to give you so much credit, sir.
That was smooth.
Yeah,
that was
kudos.
Smooth and just.
This has been a running
Beautiful.
thing for every single recording
Chef kiss.
since February, since PAX East. And
Wow.
it's
Good job,
every
Nate.
2
Good job.
weeks. And you know what? It's starting to bleed over into Pixels After Dark. So wherever
This is
I
why
go,
Nate has
it's
the
Animals
nickname
Crossing.
Discord Dad.
Even jails in chat, like you had
Yeah.
to But it was
It's
so
silly.
perfect. It was so
Oh
perfect.
god.
Sorry, I had it.
Okay. I'm crying. I'm legit teared up here.
That was a good one. All right. Well, you know what? That snapped me out of my story. I'll edit my story down a little bit. No, that was a great topic, but how do you handle doing a lot of your work like mentally? Like when you're doing things like I know you brought up a lot of the training and stuff that you do, but there has to be some. Well, there doesn't have to be, but what other things do you do to mentally prepare yourself for when you're about to do something that's a little more risky?
I just I kind of do like the ground version, where let's say I have to leave the ground, I have to spin, flip. I'll do a ground version. I'll do a safe version, so I kind of like, you know, take myself out of wrapping paper, so to speak. And that, sorry, that's the physical part, but that mentally.
So you have like a ritual that
have-
you do to kind of prepare yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that mentally grounds me. Haha, bad joke. But yeah, it's just taking those baby steps that just help you kind of, get your head around like, okay, this is what I'm about to do, and then it's like, okay, now faster. Okay, now higher. Okay, now harder. Yeah.
What's interesting there, I think that there's a real big aspect of mindfulness there. You have to know yourself inside and out to know what you're capable of, and to know what you can do, especially at the moment that you're in there. So staying in that moment and recognizing, okay, I know how to do this flip. I know how to do this turn. I know I can do that. And just kind of repeating that over and over again and understanding who you physically are in a sense.
Yeah. And I think.
Yeah. No, please.
Sorry. And I think also that like ground version I was talking about is also experimenting, and just like you said, like it's like testing your limit a bit in a safe way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, can my body move in that way? Can I arch my back that much? Like, can I physically right now do this, or do I need to work up to it? Sorry, you were continuing.
No, I really do think that that's when we talk about mindfulness, it's really staying in the moment and attempting to understand really what's going on around us, right? And not when in a mental health sense, we
thank you so much.
Just how can I react to what's going on now in the most positive way possible?
Exactly.
On the physical side of that, yeah, it's really looking at you, looking at what you can and can't do, but what can I try safely? It's same aspect, just one's physical, one's mental.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I got a question. Do you notice, like if you go a few days without being as physical as you normally do, or any extended length of time, do you notice that mentally you're more apt to get like aggravated or irritated easier?
Yes and no. I find myself like needing to move in some capacity. If I go days or whatever it is. I mean, I'm currently not in New York, so I find myself like a bit more antsy. But I think me personally, I don't result to, I guess, like being more aggressive in the example you were giving, but I just find myself more antsy as like I need to do something physical, like I need to like sweat or something. But I also am learning, me personally, that it's okay to not maintain that all the time for like myself and forever forward in time. so trying to give myself breaks and, relax and enjoy life besides, making videos for the internet.
Yeah. Self-care comes in all shapes and forms.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we were looking to see if anybody in chat had questions. Where do you train, if you don't mind me asking, when you're in New York? Do you have a spot? Is it in your home?
Oh, I wish. Some videos have been from like gyms I've been in, but recently with the finishers, it's a designated space for stunt work that I'm able to be in there by myself, which is, I guess, most productive for me, especially for Destiny content.
Right.
So yeah, it's just a big 25-foot ceiling, empty space with 2-inch foam mat floors and endless amount of pads I can work with, and just in my eyes, a blank canvas that I can use.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
And can we commission? No, I'm kidding. Because I want to do I'll commission a Thunder Crash. If you can.
No, I've got to
Get
ask.
the wire. Look, he's thinking about it. He's like, I thought about this.
See, okay. And I said this on the last show I was with. I definitely plan on doing everything.
Oh my god!
Like, I'm not taking anything off the board. So Thunder Crash has been very much, a petition since day one, among others. And I have an idea. Go for it.
An idea for it. No, I will drive the 2.5 hours down to hold the rope on the other end. That way you can.
Oh no rope needed.
Oh.
You can just watch. You could just bring a bucket of popcorn and.
I will bring a bucket of popcorn.
Maybe just have like the phone ready for 911 or something.
I'll help him. I don't think I'm too far. I'll come by.
So, Dr. Goku is
Yeah.
Here he asks, what are the positive mental health impacts martial arts and exercise have had on your life?
Ooh, this is a good one.
That is a good one.
Especially because when I was going for some of my black belt ranks, I had to write essays before I could even test, and it was on topics that Alan knows. And it was on like, how jiu-jitsu changed my life. But I'm a different person today than I was back then. Like Matt was saying, it's definitely being like self-aware and mindfulness, and I honestly recommend martial arts to like anyone, because it just creates such a positive effect on your life. Like even the way, and I guess I'll speak from the bias of learning Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is primarily self, and that very much formed me, where I'm aware of the words I say to other people. I'm aware of how I carry myself, even just in day-to-day life. I'm aware of, bring it to New York City, where I stand on a New York, subway platform. Like I'm not on the edge looking over, like if the train's coming, because someone could be not in the best mood, bump into me, and then I'm on the tracks. Like I'm back against the wall and I could see where everyone is, and I'm just hanging out. And it's every facet as far as me. Japanese jiu-jitsu has affected my life, just the way I think, the way I move, the way I, walk through life, the way I approach, anything really.
That's awesome.
And I think the one thing I'll add here, it doesn't necessarily have to be jiu-jitsu. It can just be taking a run every morning, going down, going around your neighborhood, just kind of walking or jogging, and I think what you're expressing there is just that aspect of almost like clarity. It gives you a very easier understanding of the world around you, and it mentally and physically prepares you. And I think that's what exercise really has to offer.
Exactly.
It doesn't even have to be a high impact. It could be
Yeah.
yoga.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of yoga too. It's yeah, just that really puts a perspective like in your own body. Like, oh, like I can touch my feet. Like I can, balance on like my tippy toes, whatever the sequence is. But yeah,
It's one of the things that my wife and we have two small children, and we had a discussion early on. Like, what do we do for that sense of discipline? Like, is it religion? Is it sports? Is it, and both of us have kind of agreed that when our girls are old enough, get them into martial arts, because it's not,
yes,
it's very well grounded. It's got very good and applicable aspects in life, and it's not something that's going to be up for debate,
yeah,
right?
no, for sure, and yeah, martial arts especially. Sorry, I'm such an advocate for martial arts. I know,
Oh yeah.
Matt, you brought in jogging and even walking. Um, there's something special about martial arts because it's just using your body in a way that you hope not to use.
Mm.
And I'm sure Alan can give credit. Like, when you get hit, it definitely puts perspective into things too. Like if you spar and not saying I'm not recommending anyone go out like put on headgear and get punched, but it I don't know. There's something about it. Like I'm sure someone can take this, but there's something humbling about like getting hit by someone else in a safe environment. Just knowing a little bit what that is like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
getting in a fight in a controlled area where somebody, if it gets too bad, someone's gonna step in and say, all right, back to your corners or break it up.
Yeah,
it does. You understand that if you were to get in a fight, you know that you could at least hold your own. The guy might take you down because you never know, but there's always that thing that, okay, I could at least, if it were me and my significant other or me and my kids, I could keep this person off long enough for them to go get help, something like that.
Yeah.
And yes, kids, and because I went into Taekwondo when I was in second grade. So kids and martial arts, especially if they're a kid like me that was, spacey and bounced off the walls a lot, it was great because it helped direct all my energy towards that. And we did my dojo did meditation before every class.
Same.
So we had the mindfulness down and all that stuff too. So it was great. I loved it. I would recommend it to anyone who's having trouble disciplining their kids. Like not disciplining.
Difficulty providing structure.
Yes,
Right.
Providing structure because you can do so much and the kids still will just kids.
Yeah. Because they go to school. And I'm sure Nate, you understand. Like, your kids are in school for 8 hours a day. That's, X amount of time that you're going to be away from them, and they're not under your influence and guidance. So yeah, I think martial arts can like guide them in a space that's not under like home roof and parenting roof. Like they kind of are aware and mindful of themselves.
Yeah. I mean, my background, I was in foster care for many, many years, and I kind of wish someone had put me into some sort of martial arts program a lot sooner in my life, because when I finally got into it, it was such a big eye-opener to controlling a lot of the anger issues I had and kind of directing them in a good, healthy way
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Something like that. It just helps. Taekwondo especially helps on on a physical, mental, and even on a spiritual aspect. It helps provide structure in all three of those areas, and it just increases your own personal self-awareness about you and the space around you.
I can't be in the air that long. There's the air that long does not sit well with me.
If
Yeah.
man was meant to fly, we'd have wings.
Well,
We went there.
and that's the opener.
There it is. On that note, how about we
We-
jump into some gaming news?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We had one more question in chat.
Oh.
RJ and Speedy Russian. Have you done the Hunter Spectral Blade animation yet?
Only the activation.
Only the activation. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done the heavy attack or the light attacks.
Man, you're gonna be behind
Yet.
the 8 ball when this next season comes out, man. I'm gonna tell you, they're adding a whole new
I know.
subclass. You're just gonna be like, I can't
Think
catch
about
up.
it. No, think about it. They're adding a new subclass to 3 classes, and we
Yeah.
all know there's going to be 3 trees to the subclass.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, before we moved on, I have to ask you from my own personal bank
Please.
of questions. What was the hardest one you've done so far?
Blade Carnival.
Blade Carnival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Just
about?
just because I taught myself that move, I just had to just practice it and get it to a point where I was like happy to put it out and show it to several other people that I've never met before.
You know, I think a great resource for tackling some of these, especially the more difficult ones, like the Blade Carnival one, would to reach out to the individuals that are doing the mocap at Bungie and been like, hey, Ben,
We want him in touch.
how are you able to, how did you pull this off like this? Oh, well, you lead with your left foot and you go in a really hardcore spin on your right and pivot.
So, Nate, a little louder for the people in back. I heard what you said.
Yeah, I heard him too.
See, so some of it I found out is
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off again.
Go.
Some of it's hand animated. I've been lucky enough to connect with some of the animators at Bungie, and a lot of it is hand animated, especially some of the stuff that came out of just vanilla Destiny 2, which is impressive because it does have that weight to it. Like it is, grounded, like a person's behind it, so to speak.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you, anything you could pull off, pretty much any Titan, any Warlock move, straight out. But the Hunters, just dropping with the vanilla Destiny 2, with the Spectral Blade and the staff and everything, just the acrobatics. They're jumping beams that spin all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Being able and just hearing that those are hand animated, and a person never did the capture for that, and knowing the fact that you did those moves is impressive in its own. Like that's an impressive feat right there.
Agreed.
And I'm only speaking for the conversations I had with some of the animators that most of it was hand animated. I'm not sure what was motion capture and what wasn't. And I'm also sure that they definitely had reference for most, if not all, the moves, because someone has to come up with the idea. Be like, okay, we want the Hunter to do this in this subclass. And it's like, okay, what does that look like? It's like, oh, let's look at some videos or play around and see what's out there. And that's what I'm guessing is kind of the pipeline of how things come from idea to game.
Gotcha.
But thank you for those kind words. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, so much so that I'm gonna bring my bow staff down and have you sign it, which is, a 4-foot capped, PVC pipe, 1 inch, but still,
I know.
I'm gonna take it.
I'll still sign it.
Yeah, I'll still sign it and do a little flip
Yeah.
with it, and then I'll take a picture of it, and then I'll hang it right here with a picture of you doing the flip going.
Hey, you got
did
it.
that. James did
GCX
that right there.
2021.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really hope that we're able to do something for that. But if not, I mean, do you ever go to Comic-Con or anything?
I would go to New York a bunch. It sounds like New York is not being held this year. I did go to E3 the past 3 years.
Any of the PAXs?
No, as I learned about more conventions, I understood that PAX was a really
It's awesome.
amazing,
So
different than E3, very much for the people attending and not the companies.
It is 100% for the attendee. We don't when we applied for a few panels, and they tell you right in the application, you're not selling us, you're selling the attendee.
Yeah.
And they take themselves right out of the equation, which is just unheard of. Usually you got to go through 3 or 4 channels before you even, get to apply, and you have to do, nope. PAX is all for the people. They're really well. And we take sponsorships and free donuts and coffee. No, we're going to go ahead and jump into some
Hey,
games.
King's Coast Coffee, man.
I have one more question.
Folgers? No.
One more question. I know, I'm derailing you, Joe. You can get mad at me later. I already got my Animal Crossing reference.
What's
in here,
later? No, I'm kidding.
right? I need you to shout out your tackling dummy. Like that guy that's working with you, right? Your punching buddy. That guy is doing the Lord's work here. Who is that?
It's me.
I knew it! No, yeah, he records himself. Have you ever looked into the videos, real close? It's him, getting ready for it, and then he animates himself out of it.
So you do the wire work, pulling yourself backwards?
No, I just jump backwards. I just take it.
No.
He's a stunt guy.
Yeah.
That's what he does, man.
I'm hitting the ground, man.
It's the same size, same hair, everything. The one I caught that I really knew, it was when you were doing it in your yard, and you did a kick to a guy holding thing, and I'm like, dude, that looks just like him, and I'm like, that is him. I'm like, son of a bitch, he does it all. No,
It's a bit. That's so funny, Nate, dude. I actually love that. But it's a bit.
He's blushing.
It's a bit curious because it's. I purposely changed them to black and white because what we all know with Destiny and recently Destiny 2 is the color of the subclasses. So I wanted to make that the focus. As soon as you see blue, it's Arc. Red or orange and purple, et cetera, et cetera. So I, in that sense, almost made it less about me, but yeah, I just some movie magic. I just make it me kicking my own ass.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Wow. I'm floored. I'm literally yanked back by a wire and knocked on my ass.
Did anyone else's see Nate's mind just go?
Yep.
He's gone.
He's done. That's it. Game over.
All right.
So gaming news.
Pro segue right there.
Bad segue.
I'm terrible.
So hey, video games.
Well, hey, video games. Since we're doing martial arts moves in a video game, how about that rare Mario game that sells for a record-breaking $114,000?
I know. I saw that. That's wild.
What game?
It's a Mario. It's a Mario cartridge.
Oh.
It's like
Super Mario Brothers. I'm pretty sure.
Was it a rare Japan only cartridge?
No,
or?
I didn't look at the details.
What it was, guy ended up finding this. It was still in the original bag it was bought in. His mother bought it for him when he was a kid, when it first came out, still wrapped in plastic, and the receipt was still in the bag. And she never gave it to him. And it was found like 30 plus years later. And
Wow.
he took that and went into a shop with it. It was still wrapped in plastic, everything. Like, it was mint. $114,000.
That's wild.
It's amazing.
It's just proof that like this industry is just getting started. Like as far as like collectibles and resale value, like if someone out there has something good, like definitely hold on to it because it's only going to increase in value.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like Bitcoin in a way too, because it's only valuable to the person that wants it.
Very true. Yeah.
Right.
You got to find the right person. But if you can find that right person, then they're like, "Oh my god, I have to have it."
Uh-huh. Very true.
Yeah, I keep looking over at some of the toys from when I was a kid that my parents still have. That I'm like, "You guys still got those, right?"
Toys.
Yeah.
Have you seen my walls, man? I got
the original Power Rangers toys that are defective out of the box that I have.
No, dude. How about the original like Thundercats and Voltron?
Here we go.
I got
again.
them. Yeah, I got the original He-Mans, all that jazz, dude. I got a Battle Cat. You know the kids like spring like rocking horse that sits in the middle and it's got 4 springs, one on each corner. I got the He-Man Battle Cat of that.
That's awesome.
My daughters have ridden it. I take it out for each of them, and when they're too big for it, I put it away. And you know what? The grandkids will ride it, or maybe I'll sell it one day. Last time I had it out, I touched up like the rails on it, and some guy was going by and offered me $300 for it. But it's one of those things where, dude, a lot of these old time toys and stuff that we grew up with. Dude, how many of these toys are you guys seeing? This is a side tangent again. How many of these toys that we grew up with, like, example, i.e. the Ghostbuster toys, not from the movie, but from the cartoon show, where Spangler had the big yellow hair.
Oh, yeah.
Remember growing up with those toys? I was going through, I don't think it was Walmart, but it was another store, and there were Ghostbuster toys, and it was those retro toys for sale again. And I'm like, son of a gun. I mean, I remember back in the day, $5 got you any action figure. You could just $5. I mean, that's you could spend $5 and get an action figure. Now it's like $20 almost. But those toys are coming back. So all these retro toys that we played with, they're starting to re-releasing them and everything. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool in my eyes. But
That's
nothing,
amazing.
nothing sucked worse than laser tag back in the day. So those things never worked.
Can we take a second to shout out Chef Boyar Zombie's mom, who is being forced to watch our stream, apparently.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
Thank you for being forced to listen to us.
Chef, thank you.
I'm supposed to say it directly, Matt.
We weren't. I've only streamed once in my life. Leave me alone. I don't know the rules of Twitch.
You
cut out, Matt. Or
Nate. No, sorry. I said, Chef, we love you.
Okay.
Oh god,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Very cool. Nice shout out. But all right, let's you know what? I'm really glad. I'm really proud of you guys for getting me off these tangents and like little side rambles. Because dude, majority of my edits are on myself. I'm not gonna lie.
No. What's this about Far Cry getting leaked by mistake?
Oh.
Is any leak ever a mistake?
Well, when it comes out, when the leak originates on a console, I think that is a mistake.
When
Like
it comes to Ubisoft,
I'm gonna start
though.
getting a tinfoil
Well,
hat
yeah.
to put on for some of these. I'm gonna make
Also, when it comes to Far Cry is notorious, and same for Assassin's Creed. Far Cry is notoriously leaked before it's announced. every time, like since 3. Yeah.
We have a leak. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oops,
but
we dropped this here. Yeah.
Oh, piece of candy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
very
but the
rarely
great thing, oh god, the great thing about this one, the way it leaked was, the villain of this one is the villain from the Breaking Bad series.
Yes.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that, because I was about to butcher that. No, he's a great actor,
fabulous.
and I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
when I
he's
watched
amazing.
the trailer,
He's amazing.
dude, that trailer has got a lot of emotion in it, and I'm excited for the story. Like, more excited than, like, can we just pretend that, like, Far Cry Primal never happened? Like, that was never a thing?
I never played it, so it never
You're-
happened.
Okay.
I played it for like 30 minutes at a friend's house,
And you beat it.
Came over, rolled credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I don't have many striking memories of it.
It was a very forgettable game, but it was super short, too. Like,
Yo, can we? It's funny because now we're talking about this leak because now it's officially announced, but before any of this, there was always like another AAA Ubisoft game that was going to be announced. Like, when are we getting Splinter Cell?
never.
I don't,
I think
everyone just sunk down a lot.
I think we'll get a Splinter Cell when we get another Left 4 Dead.
Oh no!
I think it's
We'll
just
get a
one of
Splinter
those things
Cell
where it's kind of
when we get
wrapped
Half-Life
up.
3.
Well, I think it's just one of those things
Oh.
where it's kind of just lost in limbo for like rights and stuff like that. Like, it's just we're never gonna get it. I don't think.
Yeah,
Now that
it's-
I say that, I'm gonna jinx it, and that stuff's gonna be released next week. You're gonna see the first trailer
Next
for
year.
Splinter Cell.
'Cause I think
Splinter.
they like added Sam Fisher into Ghost Recon, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
they have like Sam Fisher's character in that mobile game they're putting out. I think they're just unsure of a Splinter Cell game like in 2020 or like in this time. Like, they can't just make one and be like, yeah, it's gonna sell like, XYZ numbers because it's been gone for so long.
Yeah, because at this point, Sam Fisher would be like 60-something years old.
Hey,
Right?
Michael Ironside can still do the voice. I'm down.
Yeah, but I don't know
It
if
should
Sam
be his
Fisher
daughter.
could actually do what Sam Fisher used to do.
They should flip it, and it should be his daughter, and he's the
Exactly.
the guy behind the desk.
Yes.
Yes.
But we're more likely to get that than we are Half-Life 3.
Batman
I mean,
Beyond it, where he's training somebody younger.
At that point, it might as well be Perfect Dark.
That was a good game.
That was a good game.
There's a nice crossover there.
Now I want to play Perfect Dark.
All right, let's get moving before we get stuck in playing more video games than we can ever handle. The next thing, it was actually yesterday, I think it came out. Superman himself was recording himself
Yes.
building a gaming PC, where the internet absolutely lost its mind. And it's been known for a while that Henry Cavill is a gamer. He's an avid gamer. Like, he is a huge fan of the Witcher franchise, which kind of blows my mind. Like, it's like, is he, or is he just saying that? Nope. That guy is a freaking gamer. And in interviews, people ask him, what do you like better, like, on console? He's like, oh, PC. So he built a gaming PC of his dreams, which was like literally everybody's dreams. And he recorded himself building it over like the course of like 5 hours, trimmed it down. And dude, he was so into it and did an awesome job and knew everything he was doing, followed the directions, and fired that thing up. And a lot of memes and stuff.
Was on point. Like, we call this PC build porn.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I see that in the notes. In all caps, bold and italic.
In all caps.
Yeah.
There's something very satisfying about good wire management.
Yeah, I have that in mind. I literally am looking at mine. I'm like, yeah, my wire management's all right.
I don't look behind my desk for that very reason, because there is no wire management.
Until you get a new
Oh.
piece of gear, and then it's like, ugh.
You know,
I call a
tried
friend.
it. I gotta, yeah.
I mean-
call a friend for sure.
Again, gaming has always had this weird kind of stigma thrown on it, like, oh, you live in your basement and you're a troll. But
Couldn't be more wrong. You know.
Superman builds his own gaming PC, right?
That is true.
Lenny James, what? Who's the voice of Zavala?
Lance Reddick.
Lance,
That's what I get.
right? I'm sorry, Lenny James. I'm thinking, the
He's Shax.
Shax. There you go. Thank you.
I got you, Nate.
All
Get on his level. All
right for all games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is gonna be a really funny reference, but like Brie Larson is a huge Animal Crossing
Yes.
player.
That doesn't surprise
We
me.
talk about that here.
See there, that's two.
I'm trying to think who Brie Larson is.
Brie Larson is Captain
Captain
Marvel.
Marvel.
Marvel. Yeah.
Also, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh my god,
Mhm.
yes.
Epic freaking movie.
Such a great movie.
You know what? We're gonna
So
have
great.
to have Dr. Williams do a character profile, another character analysis on Scott Pilgrim or
Yes,
one
please.
of the characters, because that'll be something upcoming. We'll talk to him and see if we can get him to do that.
Yes,
for us.
please.
It's been a little while since he's done.
My
one.
gosh. My own wife is in chat. Smart men
Yes.
see stories that is only so much better when they're fun to look at. Thanks, hon. We're editing that out. Thank you.
Well, we wouldn't have had to if you
That's
didn't
the
read it
title
out
now.
loud.
You could edit me out.
That's the episode title now.
Smart men that like fantasy stories.
It's my wife.
Love the daggers from Joe.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I'm gonna.
Oh
What are
man.
you talking about? Don't put words in my mouth. I don't. Right now, I'm just, for some reason, the first thing that came to my mind when you said Brie Larson was like Joe Cocker, like came to my mind. It was like, no, that's not right. And
No.
now I'm thinking of just different people that play video games, and you're like, oh, she's saying funny things. I'm like,
Oh.
Too.
The Weekend?
All right.
No.
So, just moving right along from that subject. So,
Mhm.
invest $250 million for a minority stake in Epic Games. What's that all about?
I was actually just. No, I'm gonna have to pull up the article again because I closed it.
Heard of
I,
times
s-
on this one. Go.
I saw that, and I just. It's weird. It's weird. It's not as weird for Sony to do it, but it's weird for Epic to allow it. So Epic is like a one-trick pony right now. I
Mhm.
shouldn't say that, but as far as gaming, like Fortnite, like rules the world.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially. Yeah.
And they they have the Unreal Engine, don't they?
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yes,
right.
they have
Yeah.
Unreal Engine, and
So
it's
they-
one of the best engines.
Yeah, especially after the fifth one was unveiled with Jeff Keighley, and it's just weird for Epic to allow like a stake like that, but it makes sense for Sony because Sony doesn't have a. I guess it makes more sense now that I sound it out because they did say like the Unreal 5 engine was running on PlayStation and yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of
Well-
theories I've heard about this, and some of it has to do with the Unreal 5 engine. Some of it has to do with PC distribution. And another story that came out recently was Xbox with their xCloud being included as part of the Game Pass Ultimate.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Right. So this is one of those ways that if Sony is in bed with Epic, they have a distribution platform to maybe possibly do some sort of cross-play, distribution.
God, if crossplay doesn't come out with this new set of consoles, we need
Next
it.
year. Next year for Destiny.
Right? I mean, they're,
Freaking need it.
you know, Microsoft has got their fingers in everything, so would make sense that Sony would get kind of aligned with the other rogue player in Epic.
Yep.
You know, they're way behind Steam in terms of membership. So
I'd be more taken back if the stake was in Steam.
Oh God.
no, I mean, yeah, that would have been eye-opening if PlayStation said we're having a partnership with Steam. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think Steam would ever allow that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the
Right.
difference. They are diehard
Right.
PC.
And that
don't nobody else come near us.
yeah,
Yeah.
so next. Epic.
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense to me in that kind of realm of possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
And 250 million,
That's an epic price.
that's a decent minority stake.
According
I mean,
to the
for-
article I read, it said it's about a 1.5%. That's about it. So it's like
What?
it's not huge, but it sounds kind of like they're getting the foot in the door there.
Sony going, hi.
Yeah, we're still here,
Sony-
guys.
And I mean, Sony's a huge company. Like besides just PlayStation,
God, yeah.
they make TVs. They have their own production studio. Like
Mhm.
Think about it. Anytime you fire up a Blu-ray, Sony's making money off that.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Right.
Shoot, there's a lot of third-party.
You're muted, Joe.
There's a lot of third-party like
see most
TVs
of
and
them.
other components and stuff that are Sony components on the inside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
They're
Yeah,
like
That is-
I'm trying to think of one of those companies.
Vizio, isn't it? One of them. Westinghouse, Vizio. There's a couple
Yeah.
different like audio equipment. I don't
yeah.
think it's Polk, but I think it's like Pioneer or something like that. It's got Sony components on the
Yep.
inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're huge.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how that pans out.
But I'm blown away that $250 million is only like a 1 point percentage, 1 point something percent of Epic. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Oh,
I never thought that they were like $1 trillion company.
they reported $4 billion in revenue last year. So
Yeah, this
That's got to be
next
more than 1%, though.
consoles is going to be really, really interesting.
yes.
I got a PC, man. I'm not worried about the next console.
I
No,
mean,
but I still want crossplay because I hate that we get like even in our own group we have people that are like I'm only on PS4.
Oh.
It's like God, I want to play and I can't.
For that.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
but
Sure.
we wait for the new console releases, and that's gonna be what in November.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Which-
sure everything will get announced then.
Which
Yeah.
brings us into the last point.
Yeah, thank you for stepping on my segue.
Uh-huh.
Death 2 Beyond Light got delayed.
Don't
Yeah.
use that word.
Delayed.
That's
Good.
not a terrible thing. But when did it get delayed till?
I feel like a lot of YouTubers are using it in the worst.
Mhm.
It got
Negative way.
delayed, so now we'll have time to explain.
Right.
Oh,
We don't-
I like that.
Well, we have
It
to.
won't be like Destiny 1 where they kiboshed half the story.
But yeah, the initial news report is, hey, we need more time to develop this, to develop and refine everything going on in the game. But there is a lot of speculation that the November 10th date is coinciding a lot with the new console releases, and that maybe some crossplay might be in the works for.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
I'm with Joe on that. I think they've already publicly said like they're
Yeah.
gonna have cross-gen play, but not
Cross-platform.
Breathe, Nate. Breathe.
I think some of it is honestly because a lot of the studios working at home right now,
Yeah.
and I think, they're not stuck in the office, so there's less pressure for crunch. And I know that Bungie has, historically has been like, we don't want to do crunch. We don't want to try to force that on our people. But now they're home and their families are like,
No, I wouldn't go as much as far as that.
you don't think?
No, I think it's more along the lines of they are working from home, and even though like the rendering teams and the art teams are done, they don't. Home computers don't really have the building rigs and stuff that they need to polish these games from a remote place. Like it's possible, but it takes longer to do it, and they're not in the same building where I could just walk over to Nate in a different department and go, brother, I need this, so I can get my job done.
So I was lucky enough to have a studio tour, and their setup is like that, where it's an open floor concept, and a person's workstation can be moved, from across the room or from a different part of the building. So I think they do have the capability of taking their stuff home.
Well, yeah, they definitely do have the capability, but it's going to drive more time. Yeah, it's going to take longer to achieve the same goal because Nate's not across from me. Nate is 20 miles away at his house where
you're right.
He could be doing this and not answer his phone, answer his email, be on a Zoom call, whatever have you for communication. But also, I could have finished my stuff. I'm taking 2 months off for the next expansion. My job's done, but the 80 other people have to polish it after, and then run the bugs and all this and test it, are running into all this stuff where they could fix it in-house quicker. Going through COVID and everything, social distancing now is becoming the norm. It takes longer. It takes longer, to do telephone tag. So,
and I was kind of being, very tongue-in-cheek trolly about that. I totally get where they're coming from, and my big issue is a lot of the things that are being pushed back. The solstice, what's the Halloween event?
Festival of the Lost.
Yeah,
Festival of the Lost is now being brought forward into the
this
current
season
because of that. If based any of the Festival of the Lost on the new content, that's going to be kind of a logistical nightmare.
I don't think it will.
It's also interesting because did we quickly forget that Shadowkeep was delayed?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Right. Yeah. So it's that, and we called those the big fall expansions, and they said a similar thing, like, hey, we just need. I think they even said the bread needs more time in the oven, and it's always worth it, every time.
Yeah, but if you look back, just to go back to the seasonal content with the season of the Festival of the Lost, usually they have very little to do with whatever current season's going on because it's its own event. It's a free event, so you don't need the expansion to partake in that event. So having it be in this season versus next season with the new expansion shouldn't affect it at all. I mean, it's going to be virtually the same free content everybody's going to get. And if there is a little bit of snippet of the darkness or whatever, we're still getting that in this season. So really, the trickle feed is still going to continue with or without it, depending on what season it's in.
Yeah. Again, my only issue is if there was any narrative leads into the news story or light level increases into the news story.
I'm impressed with this season still, with the weekly mission continuing the story. I mean, this has already been a better experience as far as seasons for stories and everything.
Sure.
Than several of the past ones just in the last year. They did a good job with this.
I agree.
That dungeon is the shizit right there. If you haven't done it, it's
We gotta. I still have to finish it. I know the reset happened already, but I want to do it again.
There was a glitch. I think it was me and Irez or somebody went in. We went into it like a week prior. Our checkpoint was still available this week from last week.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's a glitch or if there's anything if they fix it or anything, but dude, we'll run through that dungeon this weekend if you want. I got no family with me this weekend, so if you want a game in the afternoon, I'm in.
Let's go. I think
10's in.
I was just gonna say 10's in.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Sorry. Anonymous cheetahs flying around our show notes.
Is that me? That might be me. I don't know.
Anonymous cheetah flying around. I love it.
And here comes the jackal stalking it through the different segments. This is like Discovery Channel in our Google notes right here. No, I'm sorry. That was a tight. I'll edit that. No. You know what? At this point, I think we covered everything. We're at the bottom of the show, and I've had a lot of fun on this one. And you know what? I know we could sit here and talk about what was that?
Mark, and we talked about Animal Crossing, tongue in cheek.
We did.
Yeah, you were all sorts of angsty in this episode, Nate. Like, you were just going for it. You weren't, drinking the whiskey early tonight, were you?
No, not at all. I just
maybe that's it.
You know what? It's because JL's not here.
You know what? You could be right.
I don't feel like he's gonna just smush me.
Even Ten's in the chat. There's the Animal Crossing. She got the reference. Damn it.
3. We hit the hat trick.
I'm just gonna put edit question mark.
I'm about to pull it up on my Switch right now. Let's all just play Animal Crossing.
I don't have it.
I don't have it.
But it's okay. You know what? You can stream it. How about that?
You can.
I'll experience it with you.
I gotta buy an Elgato now. All right, I'll do it.
Wow, that was hard.
For the sake of the joke, I'll do it.
Did you see us twist his arm? Yeah, his arm went like,
Yeah. All right.
There is a different. I don't know if anybody else played this. I know Matt brought it to my attention a couple weeks ago, and I've been playing it, and I've been having my daughter kind of partake with it. Planey, have you played it at all, Matt? The one with the forest growing and everything with the fox.
Not yet.
The meditations and everything, you go right off the bat. It introduces, and it's kind of like a conversation where you kind of pick the conversation piece to carry on with your, spirit animal guide, which is a fox. It's so cool. The breathing techniques right on screen. It walks you right through it. Such a great self-care game. And it's so relaxing and calming. I just want to shout it out and bring some attention to it to anybody that's listening to check it out. And it's Playne. It's available on Steam, very cheap. And it's a self-care and meditation game that as you play it, your area grows. So you start with an open field with a campfire and some things. And then after a week, you have saplings and trees, and then after a month, 3 weeks doing it, you have a forest that have other fireflies and stuff. It's so cool to see it develop around you. It's neat,
and it's pretty. It is a pretty game.
Very pretty game. It's not nice. We're not shooting space aliens here, but this is one of those just kind of recenter yourself and calm yourself after a night of running through a very stressful dungeon or something like that, where you're I don't want to get off game yet, but I'm gonna play this for a little bit and kind of check it out. But definitely check it out. It's a cool little game. Does anybody else got anything they want to touch on? Any closing remarks or anything? No? Okay. Next episode, Nate will walk us all through how to make our own DIY green screens, so we too can share in having a Star Wars background.
Be careful with that, because I may come on with the green T-shirt.
Our next guest is She Snaps.
Yep, She Snaps will be on next.
Yes.
It'll be a really fun conversation. Can't wait for next week.
It's gonna be amazing.
We have a lot of great guests coming up, and it's
Yeah.
so exciting. So exciting. It's going to be a great summer, and it was so great having you on, James.
It's
It's been
I know behind the scenes, and I'm excited, and I hope they come true. You know, Joe, I want them to be on the show. Stay tuned.
okay.
Here.
Not really sure who you're talking about, man. There's a lot of people, but
They liked us. They
another voice actor.
yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Send an email and reached out, and hopefully we'll hear back something soon. But we'll reach out to a couple other of our friends that have been on in the past that have always been eager to come back on too. So we'll have a definite a fun early fall this year too. So we got a lot of great guests coming on.
We do.
We started out with the IRL Guardian, and we're launching from there. Like,
Absolutely.
hey,
Yeah,
I'm
actually
just a
we kicked it
guy.
off with Gabe from Six Wing, and then we rolled right into James, and then we're going into Snaps, and then it's just going to continue going. A lot of great stuff happening. But James, thank you so much for coming on. It was such a great conversation to have with you. Thank you so much for everything you do, and keep doing it, man. You're inspiring a lot of people to
Right.
not only enjoy your content, but also like become active as well. You know, we share in this this video game community, and we all share passion about this franchise. But you're inspiring others to become active, which is really, really important, especially now with all the social distancing and COVID and everything. The more active we are, the more healthier we are and everything. And I myself could be more active. So please keep inspiring, keep doing what you're doing, man. And why don't you give a shout out where everybody can find, keep up with news with you, and where to find your videos and stuff.
Thank you so much for all the kind words. That means so much, and we'll for sure keep on going. You guys can find me on Twitter, IRL_Guardian, on Instagram, IRL Guardian, on YouTube, IRL Guardian, and I do have a Patreon, IRL Guardian, that I don't put out there that much. But if you want to learn some tutorials, that's what's up there. And that's it.
Very nice.
you got everything IRL Guardian now, right?
Yes, and Discord.
Ice.
Except my gamer tag is and forever will be my original.
Yeah.
You gotta stay true,
Got it.
You guys caught it. You didn't. Nobody else saw the little sign I gave. Be strong.
Right.
No.
That was yeah.
I heard it.
No, James.
I felt it.
Mine too. Been following you for a long time, obviously, because I knew you as New Me. Got like everything I can do to promote you and get you in the light people that need to get you. Like, I want you to mocap. I want you to mocap. Get this done for F's sakes.
I
Right?
appreciate that so much, Nate. Cross fingers and toes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great.
And thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes.
We are Guardians MH. You can follow us at Guardians MH Twitter. On top of that is pinned to our Twitter account is a link to our Discord server, which is open to everyone and is a safe and inclusive space that has a strong peer support network, puts you in contact to ask questions to mental health professionals, to be guided to proper resources, and is filled with other resources that everybody can utilize for free. And also check out our website, guardiansmh.org, and feel free to email us at support@guardiansmh.org, and check us out on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review. like
Yes.
us, share us, follow us. Help us. Get the podcast out there more. It really helps the podcast grow, and really helps us out with helping to normalize talking about mental health topics and making it a more accepted and fun conversation. And that's it. And it's me, it's you, it's all of us. And this is the end of the show. Have a great night, everybody.
Great. Good night, everybody.
Not gonna lie, that was at the bottom of the show notes, whoever wrote that.
In the room and says, waves by everyone. Come here.
Bye, baby. And here's Nate's little one. Oh, look at the smile.
How cute.
Say hi.
Hi.
You see all these people?
Yeah.
Say,
Bye.
I love you, Numi dude.
Love you too.
Aww.
Yes.
Aw.
If you
love
don't
you
have
too.
if you don't have sweet dreams tonight, I don't know what.
Man, that and right after I take a gummy, it'll be great.
Yeah.
And
Direct angle.
we are still live.
We are still live.
That's fine.
That's okay.
I just wanted to make sure. I don't know. I didn't,
Still?
What? He's
I was
talking about
okay.
melatonin. Guys, come on, get up.
no, that wasn't where I was going. I wanted to make sure I didn't say anything.
Have a great night, everybody.
We are in the rectangle.
Yes.
Are we in the rectangle?
Yes.
Oh, we raiding.
Are you waving?
Yep. We're gonna go say hi to Pale Rider.
touch
He
me.
came
Let's
in,
go.
subbed us, and he's a great person. Give him all the love. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging with
Night.
us.
Hi, Matt.
Say,
Hi.
oh,
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
say hi, James.